So the future for electric vehicle rollout has a lot to do with charging station availability and capacity. One of the biggest holdups is rolling out and building those charging stations fast enough. There's major companies that do this in bulk. They have networks all over the country of charging stations. There's also individuals that put it in their company parking lots, maybe apartment complexes, maybe even at your house. The problem is that getting those built is a struggle. According to this article in the Wall Street Journal, this new Inflation Reduction Act that was passed this week gives incentives for installing this equipment. The problem is getting the parts is difficult. Getting the approval sometimes is difficult. The biggest thing is getting the availability of companies to construct these. You need a licensed electrician, you need a contractor, you need an excavator, and sometimes getting that all put together is going to be tough, and them getting the parts is going to be tough. So what's the solution? Well, we deal with this from a number of angles. As a licensed general contractor, this could be an opportunity for contractors to get into this business, to build them. If you could source the parts, sign up these contracts, and put these in, that could be a nice little source of relatively small but lucrative jobs that you can put on your supply line, on your book of business. If you are a property owner, you may be able to get some incentives to invest in these types of facilities, maybe for your employees or for customers. If you are an electric vehicle owner or a potential owner, you're looking to buy one, you might want to look at how fast this is going to get rolled out. So what are the facts behind all this happening? Well, first of all, they're trying to get 500,000 public chargers by 2030. Now, let's just stop right there. 2030 seems like it's a long ways away. And it kind of is, right? It's almost 2023. So let's round it off and call it 7 years from now. Right? It's 2022, end of 23. If you take 2022 minus 7 years, that's 2015. So 7 years ago, what were you doing in 2015? How long ago was that really? So 7 years from now is not that far away, and they want to build 500,000 chargers. At the rate they're going, it's going to be very hard to do that. What makes it worse is experts say you're going to need 1.2 million. You're going to need more than double, right? Right now, there's only 124,000. That's like 10% of the amount that's needed. And they've been building these things for 10 years. Electric vehicle chargers have been built since 2010, 2012. So in 10 years, we've built 124,000. In 10 more years, we need to build 1 million. How's that going to happen? Right? This is something that is overlooked when you do the math on electric vehicles. The factories that make the parts for these, it's fair to say customers had to wait, and then there's been some delays in putting these in the ground. Tritium is a company that builds these fast chargers. They've had to hire hundreds of people to do this. Here's the key quote. In order to get this transition from early adopters to mainstream, you need to get tens of thousands of these units out there. But the incentives are higher. The maximum tax credits is 100,000 per charger, up from 30,000 a site currently, and it'll extend the program by a decade. Fast charging installations typically cost 100,000 each, and might install, and you have to tear up the pavement, according to the article. So there's a lot of moving parts. It involves the automotive industry, the construction industry, the manufacturing industry. So having all of those pieces come together is going to be an important part of making sure that electric vehicles are adopted, if that's what everybody wants, so that they're usable and people don't have to pull over on the side of the road and be stuck with no power in their battery when they have another 100 miles to go because there's no chargers where they're at to top off their vehicle's EV bars.